It's Cars for Christmas. Now, here's Slacker.
Moving a little bit slow after last night's football game, but that doesn't stop us from sharing stories of families in need this holiday season. And as we mentioned many times, we couldn't do it without all of our great partners in the community.
Well, the gentleman next to you is he and his team make sure that we get those vehicles picked up from all of the great donations from so many listeners who listen, and of course get them running and get them in great condition for our folks. He is Brian Christensen from Redline Tow. Brother, welcome back.
Good morning, Slacker.
This sexy man next to you wearing his Santa costume today. I don't know if this was just like a dry run, a dry rehearsal here, but you got your hat and your overalls on. He is Terry Franz. We fondly refer to him as the Car Santa.
Thank you, Slacker. You know, Slacker, we've got something special this morning, and I'll let Brian kind of tell the story, but just to show you the listeners, not only do they support us all year and helping us get these cars so we can fix them up and give them away to our heroes. And let me keep in mind, heroes means veteran, active duty military, police, fire department, EMTs, and healthcare workers. So there's a lot of heroes out there. Guy called me, said, I'd really like to help you out and purchase a car. I don't have one, but if I gave you the money, could you go get a car for us? And I said, sure, I can. And it was very generous. And he wants to remain anonymous. He doesn't want any love. You know, we get that every once in a while from people. Sincerely, he said, the only thing I ask is, can I come down and be there when we hand over the keys? And I said, sure, you can. Bring the whole family. But it was generous enough that it allowed Brian and I to find a minivan with a lowered floor that has all the wheelchair accessibility for somebody. And so this morning we're going to call and tell you a story about a person that needs that, all from the generosity of one listener.
Well, Brian, there's a lot of generosity out there, and for those who are listening who would like to nominate somebody, because we still have time, or like to donate vehicles or cash to our program to help repair those vehicles, how can they do that?
They can go to cars4heroes.org, or they can go to our Facebook page.
Well, tell us a brief overview about Amanda.
Amanda and her husband have a family of 4. Her brother served in the Army and had a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star. Their 4-year-old daughter is disabled, has a few health issues that we'll get into, I guess, with them on the phone. I'm not exactly sure what all the issues are, but they are definitely in need of a handicapped vehicle for their 4-year-old.
Actually, their story came to us through our good friends at Hands to Heart. Michael Bergen and Christine Bergen said we have somebody that had called them, said, do you know any way we could find a way to get a van for our granddaughter, is how it started.
Yeah.
And so I talked to Grandma, and Grandma sent me to the Amanda, and so we'll get the story because it's in detail, their health.
Hello?
Hello, Amanda?
Yes.
Good morning, Amanda. This is Terry.
Morning.
How are you doing this morning?
Good. How are you?
Good. I was telling them a little bit about your story, and I'll start off with not that, we open up Christmas for everybody, but I had talked to your mother, and she had told me about your brother who served for our country and ended up with a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star.
Yes.
Well, that's quite a hero. They don't pass those medals out just because you showed up.
Right?
Well, that's great. You let him know that we appreciate his service. Anyway, I was telling him a little bit about your predicament. You have, 4 kids total?
Yes.
And your youngest, who is 4, has had a series of health problems his whole life. Why don't you tell us what's going on there?
Well, he was born with trachea flow, where he had to have open heart surgery at 6 months old. He had a couple of blood transfusions. His brain did not develop all the way, so he has a lot of fluid up there. He has cerebral palsy, scoliosis. He's going to have a feeding tube for the rest of his life. All of his muscle tone is really tight, so we have to give him medicine to help loosen his muscle tone. He has physical therapy come out once a week to work with him.
I'm sure it requires a lot of trips to the doctor, doesn't it?
So yeah, we go up to the city about once or twice a month, and it's an all-day thing because I try to get all of his appointments at least the same day.
Well, I'm sure your hands are full. It's enough for 4 kids yet, and you have one that has health needs that you got to get up to. I guess Children's Mercy is probably where you're bringing them, isn't it?
Yes.
I have seen them do miracles over the years. Sometimes you wonder how they do it, and working on little babies and stuff, but they do, and I've seen some real true miracles work through them. You live in not a very big town, do you?
No, it's a small little town out here in the country. doctor who delivered him said, "Don't even go to the hospital down here. Just go straight up to Children's Mercy if anything happens."
Well, that's a couple-hour emergency there. You don't just swing down the street.
Yeah.
I talked to your mother in detail. She told me about all your health issues and the struggles you're going through. We don't get that type of vehicle very often, but we had a very generous donor call us, and so we purchased a vehicle that might work for you. I won't beat around the bush. The reason we called you this morning is to tell you that we're going to take something off your plate here, and we're going to provide you with a van with this wheelchair accessible.
Thank you. That means a lot.
I'm sure it does. I don't know if our listeners even understand the struggles that you're going through, but it gives us a lot of pleasure to know that we can take that stress away from you and you got enough to worry about, so we'll figure out how to get you to the back and forth and get him around as he needs services done. Take a load off your husband too.
Thank you. This means very much to us.
Well, we went through a lot of people to find you. We've been looking for somebody just like you, and fortunately, your mom kind of found some connections that got to us that had us take a look at the whole situation, and so we can thank them all. But I guess what we do is I would start with, when we get off the air, is to call your mom and thank her.
Yes.
Most
definitely, I will.
What will we do without moms?
Right. Thank you very much.
Not tissues this time, Slacker. Just go over there with a whole towel for Kelly.
I was taught to believe, and I fully believe that God intervenes. And when we got this story, Santa, we didn't have a van. And they're so hard to come by. They're very rare. They're expensive. And as it turns out, this gentleman wanted to buy a vehicle. Are you telling me
Yeah.
It's
How does that happen?
It's my belief that that's God at work right there.
Absolutely is. And I get the pleasure of meeting these people that decide that they want to do stuff. This guy, he says, look, you don't have to talk about me on the radio, or they're doing it because he said my business was good this year, and I really wanted to affect somebody and see where my donation went, see how it affected people. So we're going to have a lot of fun, his whole family down, and hand the keys to Amanda and her family.
There's a lot of people out there that want to make nominations, but there's a lot of folks that would like to be a part of this. They like to donate. And even if they don't have a vehicle, Brian, there's ways of helping us out.
There's a lot of different ways to be involved. And what Terry said, I have a lot of people that say that we are one of the only charities that you can actually see what is happening with their donation. Whether they see their car being given away on Facebook or on TV or listen on the radio, or even come to one of our events, you can actually physically see where your help is going. So you can go to our website, cars4heroes.org, or you can go to our Facebook page.
Well, Kelly, why don't you hand me one of those Kleenex?
Yeah.